Some women will elevate your life, while others will slowly drain the life out of you. The problem is most men don't see the warning signs until it's too late. They ignore the red flags, hoping things will change, only to find themselves stuck in toxic cycles. But a strong man knows exactly who to avoid. If you want to better reflect your Stoic spirit, you can get your own wallpapers from the link in the description. Are you new at this channel? Please subscribe and leave a comment. I think you like the video. If you please hit the like button. Let's begin. In this video, we're breaking down 8 types of women you should never date, because recognizing these red flags can save you years of wasted time and heartache. Let's get into it. Point 1. The drama addict. At first, she seems exciting. There's something intoxicating about her, the way she lights up a room, the way she's never boring, the way every moment with her feels like a whirlwind. But soon, you realize something. This woman doesn't live without chaos. She needs it. She feeds off it, and if there isn't drama happening naturally, she'll create it herself, and that's when the problems start. At first, it might seem small, a fight over something meaningless, a moment where she blows something out of proportion. But soon, it becomes a pattern. She picks fights for no reason. She turns every minor issue into a catastrophe. She thrives on emotional roller coasters. Before you know it, you're constantly on edge, constantly defending yourself, constantly wondering why things always feel like a storm. A drama addict will never let you have peace. Even if things are going well, even if there's no real reason to argue, she'll find a way to create chaos. Why? Because to her, a stable relationship is boring. She's not looking for love, she's looking for emotional highs and lows. And what happens to a man who gets sucked into this cycle? He becomes reactive instead of focused. Instead of working on his goals, he spends all his energy dealing with her nonsense. He loses his edge. A man who's constantly drained by arguments and emotional manipulation can't stay sharp. He starts doubting himself. Over time, she'll gaslight, blame, and twist situations until he's constantly walking on eggshells, wondering if he's the problem, and worst of all, drama never ends. It only escalates. The fights get bigger. The mind games get worse. Soon, you're not just dealing with petty arguments, you're dealing with emotional destruction. You can spot a drama addict early if you pay attention. Look out for constant arguments with friends and exes. If every relationship in her life is full of conflict, she's the common denominator, addiction to gossip and social media fights. A woman who's obsessed with other people's drama will eventually turn that energy on you. Extreme emotional reactions to small problems. A normal inconvenience becomes a catastrophe. A misunderstanding becomes betrayal. Everything is life or death. Point 2. The victim. At first, you might feel sorry for her. She tells you about how life has been so unfair to her, how her exes were all terrible, how people always betray her, how she just can't catch a break. She plays the part perfectly, the wounded, misunderstood woman who just needs someone to care, and you, being a good man, might think, I can help her. I can show her what real love is. I can be the one who finally treats her right. But here's what you don't realize. The victim doesn't want to be saved. This type of woman feeds off sympathy. She's not looking for solutions, she's looking for someone to validate her helplessness. And if you step in as the man who tries to fix her, she'll never take responsibility. Everything will always be someone else's fault. Nothing is ever on her. She'll drain your emotional energy. Every conversation will be about her problems, her struggles, her suffering. But she'll never change. She'll make you feel guilty for having boundaries. If you ever try to focus on yourself, she'll say you don't care or aren't supportive, and that's how she traps men, through guilt, through pity, through emotional manipulation. You can spot these women early if you pay attention. Every ex is a villain. If every man she's been with was toxic, that's a sign she refuses to take responsibility for her own actions. She never has solutions, only complaints. No matter what advice you give, she won't take action. She just wants to vent. She guilt trips when things don't go her way. If she constantly makes you feel bad for focusing on yourself, that's a red flag. Point 3. The attention seeker. She loves the spotlight. She craves validation, and no matter how much attention you give her, it's never enough. At first, she seems fun, energetic, and charming. She's always on social media, always getting compliments, always surrounded by guys who are just friends. But soon, you realize this woman is addicted to male attention. The attention seeker doesn't care about real connection. She doesn't care about loyalty. She cares about being desired. And that means she'll always keep backup options. She might be with you, but she'll never fully belong to you. There's always another guy in her DMs, another friend she's entertaining. She needs constant validation. If you don't shower her with compliments, she'll go find them elsewhere. She thrives on making men compete. She enjoys watching guys fight for her. She loves knowing she has options. Spot her early before you get too deep. She's addicted to social media validation. If she's constantly posting thirst traps, constantly responding to comments from random men, she's seeking external approval. She flirts with everyone, even in front of you. Some women claim they're just friendly, but if she can't turn off the charm when she's with you, that's a red flag. She needs reassurance all the time. If she constantly asks, "Do you think I'm pretty?" or "Do you still like me?" she's addicted to validation. Point 4. The controlling woman. At first, it feels like she just cares about you. She asks about your day, checks in often, wants to know what you're doing. It seems like love. It seems like attention, but slowly, something starts to shift. She doesn't just ask where you're going. She demands to know. She doesn't just check in. She expects constant updates. She doesn't just want time with you. She wants control over your entire life. Before you realize it, you're no longer in a relationship, you're in a dictatorship. A controlling woman isn't looking for a partner. She's looking for a puppet, and if you let her, she will cut you off from your friends. She'll convince you they're a bad influence or don't care about you like she does. She will monitor your every move. She'll demand constant check-ins, make you feel guilty for having personal time, and question everything you do. She will use guilt to manipulate you. If you ever push back, she'll say things like, "If you really loved me, you'd do this," or "Why do you want to hurt me like this?" She doesn't want compromise, she wants control. Point 5. The gold digger. She's beautiful. She's charming. She makes you feel like a king. But there's a catch. Everything revolves around what you can provide. At first, it seems harmless. She mentions how much she loves nice things, how she's used to being treated like a queen, how a real man provides for his woman. And because you're a generous man, you don't mind treating her. But then, it becomes a pattern. She expects expensive gifts just to keep her happy. She measures your worth by how much you spend. She only shows affection when she's getting something in return. A gold digger isn't looking for love, she's looking for a sponsor. You'll notice early signs. She's obsessed with status and material things. If all she talks about is designer brands, fancy restaurants, and luxury, that's a sign. She tests how much you'll spend on her. If she's constantly asking for things or dropping hints about what she wants, she's checking your wallet, not your heart. She disappears when you say no. The moment you stop giving, she loses interest. Point 6. The feminist extremist. She doesn't just want equality, she wants dominance. At first, she seems strong, independent, and confident. But soon, you realize something. She sees men as the enemy. She constantly criticizes masculinity. She expects you to apologize for simply being a man. A healthy woman supports equality. A feminist extremist, however, resents men and sees them as inferior. In a relationship, she will challenge your leadership at every turn. If you try to lead, she'll accuse you of being controlling or toxic. Shame you for masculine traits. If you enjoy strength, confidence, or ambition, she'll label it as a patriarchy. Make you feel guilty for expecting traditional roles. If you want a feminine, supportive partner, she'll say you're outdated or oppressive. A real man doesn't need to dominate a woman, but he also won't tolerate being disrespected just for being masculine. 7. The forever party girl. She's fun. She's wild. She's always the life of the party. But here's the problem, she never grows up. At first, it's exciting. She knows the best spots, she introduces you to new experiences, and life with her feels like an adventure. But soon you realize she has no discipline. She lives for the next party, the next night out, the next wild moment. She lacks long-term vision. She doesn't plan for the future, she just drifts through life. She surrounds herself with toxic people. Her circle is full of enablers, bad influences, and people who don't have their lives together. The party girl might be fun for a night, but she's a disaster for a long-term relationship. Look for these signs: she's always out, never home. A woman who's constantly in clubs, bars, and parties isn't ready to settle down. She drinks excessively. Social drinking is one thing, but if she can't have fun without alcohol, she's got deeper issues. She avoids responsibility. If she dodges real-world problems and always seeks distractions, she's not relationship material. 8. The emotionally unstable woman. One day, she loves you. The next day, she hates you. At first, you think she's just passionate, that her emotions run deep. But soon, you realize she's unpredictable. One moment, she's affectionate, sweet, and devoted. The next, she's distant, cold, and full of rage. She's not just moody, she's emotionally unstable. In a relationship, this means constant emotional outbursts. She reacts irrationally to small issues, making everything dramatic. Extreme mood swings. You never know what version of her you're getting. Manipulative behavior. She uses her emotions to control you, or whether through guilt, anger, or silent treatment. This type of woman can be destructive to a man's mental health. Watch for early red flags. She has a history of unstable relationships. If every past relationship ended in chaos, she's the common factor. She overreacts to minor inconveniences. If small things set her off, imagine what happens when real problems arise. She blames others for her emotions. If she can't regulate her feelings and expects you to fix them, she's not ready for a healthy relationship. Final thoughts: a strong man doesn't just focus on attracting women, he focuses on avoiding the wrong ones. The women you allow into your life will either elevate you or destroy you. The key is recognizing red flags early, setting boundaries, and refusing to tolerate toxicity, because at the end of the day, a high-value man doesn't waste time on the wrong woman, he waits for the right one.